Sagüey, zapata, Willy Boobies. Billy Boobies. Venga, Willy, así lo terminamos. Que esta semana no he podido jugar porque he estado trabajando mucho. Vamos a abrir el chatito. La última vez que jugué fue domingo, ¿no? Que aquí poner el chat de domingueo chill. Hace una semana que no jugamos, Willy. Momentillo. Mientras me voy a comer unas patatas mientras que estoy aquí cargando y descargando. Unas patatas. Me gustan más las Pringles del Mercadona, Willy, que las originales. Lo que yo nunca he probado es una Coca-Cola que esté más buena que la Pepsi o que la Coca-Cola. Estoy abriendo el chat, güey. Tengo el chat ya. ¿Qué pasa, Bon, güey? Un minuto. Y vamos. A ver. Ahora. Ajá, ajá. Bien. ¿Se ve todo bien o qué, Waze? Vamos a pasarnos el jueguecillo, ¿no? Sí, por aquí hay cosas. Aquí parece que brillaba algo, ¿no? Mira. Y aquí también. Y aquí también. Mira, aquí también. Los dineros aquí la gente los tira por todos los sitios, güey. Las hazañas de los Wolford. La prioridad son los Wolford, Willy. Los Wolford son los Wolford. ¿Cómo era para poner autoplay? Pesquisas. ¿Podemos salir fuera? No, no nos dejan salir. Tengo ganas de jugar el Dragon Quest 3 HD. Vamos a ver, Willy, lo que pasa con la cinemática. Vamos a ver. A ver, el avance automático, ¿cómo era?
Lord Simon lives.
A ver, había una manera de que era para que avanzara automáticamente. Aquí.
Haven't seen him in ages. He looks well. Thank the stars. Let me take your hand.
Toma mi brazo.
I can manage on my own, my boy. I've not felt this good in some time. But I shall want you by my side the rest of the evening, that I may hear of your exploits in full.
Nothing would make me happier, Father.
I thank you all for gathering to celebrate with me House Wolfort's victories.
¿Se morirá aquí delante de todo el mundo?
Against all odds, my son and his stalwart allies have reclaimed the kingdom of Glenbrook. I felt a great weight lifted from my shoulders as I watched him grow into a worthy heir. I dare say I've never been so proud. Permit me the indulgence of offering a toast to my son, my pride and...
My valorous son.
Anna.
Huh?
Le van a matar, sabía. Esos son los de Dunalgia.
Assassins.
Porque como nosotros estamos de buena manera con los otros de Dunalgia, lo que quieren es que este tío no nos vaya a meter en problemas con Dunalgia. Lo estaba pensando, digo, yo van a matar padre, ¿eh? Yo estaba pensando en la bailarina, que la bailarina esa del grupo que le va a matar. ¿Qué pasa, Antonio, güey, Zapata?
Eyes on me, Father. Steady yourself.
Let my guard down. But it takes more than that to fell Simone Wolford.
Then more you shall have. Not today.
Hostia. Me ha reventado Willy por la espalda.
Thank you, Milo. Save your breath. We're not rid of the assassins.
Una rebelión.
Kill them, Milo.
Gladly.
Kill them all. We shan't have a chance like this again.
Este es el tío, el del reino, el...
Patriot, what are you?
You traitorous cur!
¿El padre se ha unido al grupo? ¿También? No, el padre es que es un NPC. Ahora el próximo juego no sé cuál jugar, si hacer el Bravely Default 2 o qué. Pi, 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 pi. Pi, pi, pi. Pi, 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 pi. El príncipe que lo teníamos subido a tope se va del grupo, increíble. Y la otra, la maga, igual. Increíble lo bien hecho que está el juego. Con los personajes principales que más los vas a subir, luego los pierdes.
The Wolforts are a blight upon this land. A blight I will see cleansed.
Your treachery ends here, Patriot! On my house's honor, I swear!
We must bring this conflict to a close. Lord Simone is in no condition to fight.
Come what may, I have to see the Lord Simone. Patriot and his ilk must die. Keep my father.
I will end this. Into the shadows.
Tienen la habilidad de saltar, los hijos de puta estos. Son asesinos, ¿no? Por eso tienen 2 turnos. Esta gente son asesinos disfrazados. Y tienen la habilidad de los asesinos.
Now what to do?
Vamos a poner aquí.
How's this? This battle is ours.
Esta tía. Flecha cegadora, puedo dejar este cegado. El otro que quita poco daño. Venga, y falla ahí yo, tío. Increíble, Willy. Increíble este juego.
What a pain.
Venga ya, 2 ataques de 2 personajes seguidos fallando, y ya empezamos. Qué falso el juego, de verdad, tío,
You're holding Glenbrook back, Wolfort.
Qué puto falso el juego, Willy. Es que da mucha rabia, tío. Es que nada más empezar ya empezamos con las tonterías. Y él me da crítico, Y él me da crítico. 2 ataques, 2 fallos. Increíble, Willy. Increíble, Illo.
From where shall we strike? Thought you had me, huh?
I shall try my level best. You must stay vigilant. For the future of House Wolford.
From where shall we strike? I'll make this quick. For my kith and kin. I've been waiting for this. Look to my shield. I love the battle.
Hey! Shall we begin? Allow me.
O sea, que el viejo la calilla, Willy. Supongo que si el viejo muere, acaba la partida, ¿no? Tú puedes. Valor.
You've got this.
I will see it done.
I will follow you faithfully till the end.
I haven't been broken yet.
¿Y no ataca ni nada? ¿En serio?
Hey!
Where was I?
A ver. Prisión gélida.
I see through you. My research bears fruit.
I see right through you.
Hostia.
You won't escape.
Me too! I love the battlefield. You've done it now! You'll pay for Get back!
Can't be.
Mata.
No! No!
Dos acciones, ¿verdad? Son asesinos.
Time to take flight. Darkness engulfs you. This ain't good.
Saw right through you. Well, congratulations are in order.
Y yo, venga, ya estamos curando otra vez a todos los personajes.
Wait your turn!
After me? Are you? Ah!
Let us pry out their weakness.
A ver, aquí podemos matar a este tío. Y yo tampoco daño hace, no lo mato, tío. ¿En serio, tío? Qué basura. Vamos a curar a este hombre porque si no...
Let us reverse our fortunes.
I've been waiting for this!
Cool heads shall prevail.
Bueno, la tía esa está muerta, reventada. Aquí un curo.
Your wounds are
I will remember this.
gone. One step
A
closer
este hombre,
to our
güey.
hope.
I'll take it from here.
Right on my lead.
Yo no se ha muerto el hijo de puta. Bueno, con el veneno se supone que morirá.
Now then, to work.
Con el veneno se supone que morirá.
Come on!
Muerto con el veneno, lo que yo he dicho.
You'll pay for this.
Oh, no. My turn.
A ver, ¿quién están jodidos? Este, si me pongo aquí, lo puedo matar.
This is the end.
Muerto. ¿Y ahora? Lanza veneno a otro. A este mismo, por ejemplo. A este gilipollas. No lo he envenenado, tío.
Stronger already.
Yo nunca lo enveneno.
Me too! Look at me learning. Me too! Me too!
Venga ya, 80 ataques y yo, tío. 80 ataques aquí.
For the honor of House Wolfort. I'll make this quick.
This battle is ours.
Gran arco. A ver si primero me muevo.
You're open.
Se lleva una buena.
My pride is my shield.
Se lleva una buena maja.
This ain't good.
This might sting.
Pa' tu casa,
Hello,
campeón.
not a pushover.
I haven't been broken yet.
Yo, porquería Warford, mata a alguno, ¿no? Nada.
Let us pry out their weakness.
Espera. Ah, ya no puedo usar lo de ahora. No puedo.
Let us reverse our fortunes.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Pero con esta puedo hacer curación a este, a este, a este. ¿Cuál está más jodido?
Allow me.
I'm in your debt.
We can't hold out much longer.
Este tío tiene... Reduce sus petes.
Here goes. Ever to serve my lord.
You won't beat me!
Muerto, campeón.
Where was I?
No puedo hacer nada y yo, qué falso, tío. Mira, con este puedo intentar matarlo.
Away with you!
¿No se ha muerto por cuánto? ¿Un punto de vida o dos? Qué falso, huele. Y ahora me da 2 veces. 3 veces, 4 veces.
I will end this.
A ver, a este... A este lo mato.
It's over.
Y ahora... A este también le meto.
Victory
Buena
is
navajaza.
within reach.
You'll pay for this!
¿Qué pasa? Chisbal, Rodri, The Yuti, Krigamer, H. Rodri.
They got me.
For the honor
Y a los de
of
antes
House
otra
Wolf.
vez, Antonio, Bonds. A ver. Que si pudiera meter un corte giratorio aquí, no vea la que lía.
I'll make this quick.
Buena puñera. Y el
We're
otro
not done here.
falla. Venga ya.
I will follow you faithfully till the end.
I haven't been broken yet.
Métele ahí bien dado.
That's as far as you
¡Hostia! ¡Ha reventado, Willy! ¡La ha reventado! ¡La ha dejado seco!
I shan't make the mistake of underestimating them again.
Time to take flight.
Goodbye.
Criticazo.
This ain't good. All or nothing.
But my research.
I see a path to victory. Your defense is
Victory
weak.
is within reach.
My
Y
knowledge
no se
grows
muere,
deeper.
tío.
Shall we begin?
No se muere, Willy.
I'm behind you.
Thank you, friend.
Strike while the iron's hot.
¿Qué vida tiene este?
Take that! I will follow you faithfully till the end. I'll take you on!
Venga, para tu casa.
Gotcha!
¡No la ha matado!
This.
Joder.
This is the end. Victory is within
My
reach.
stratagem is superior.
¿Quién más queda? A contraataque muerto, campeón.
Defeat is not an option. This ends here.
Sequito como una moama, huele.
House Wolford shall persevere. Yeah!
Eso lo podía haber hecho al principio, que hubiera matado a varios. A mí el juego me pareció súper mega aburrido. Empezamos bien y el final... cringe me dio. Parece que está desaprovechado.
Was my sword ever so heavy? Age is
La carga
a
de los
persistent
años,
foe.
Willy. Al final se va a morir.
Be strong, father. I shall get you treatment at once.
Se acaba de recuperar de una cosa y va y lo apuñala.
Sir Noah, please. If I must go, at least it was alongside you on the battlefield.
Enough of this talk. You will yet live.
I've seen scores of soldiers perish, my son. Death comes for us
Venga,
all.
ahora se muere.
Does it not, dear Benedict?
Forgive me, my lord. I could not keep you safe.
I beg you, give the three of us a moment together.
As you wish. Eridor?
Editor. Pobrecito, ya ha muerto padre. ¿Dónde vais? Se ha salvado este tío.
Dangerous as I feared.
Es increíble.
Must be wiped out for the good of all Glenbrook.
There is no escape, Patriot. Tell me why a royalist like you would attack Lord Simo.
Yes. Why would you threaten to tear asunder a newly restored Glenbrook?
Restored? Restored to what? The duchy killed your king and controls your land, and you've what, exactly? The collected ashes of the royal family? Those who joined the duchy thrived. Those who resisted were ground beneath their heel. The nobles and commoners have never been further apart, though beneath it all, they are bound not by the king's memory, but greed.
Perhaps, but we can unite them behind King Roland.
The weakest link of them all. The prince, who forsook his family, a ruler in nothing but name if the people speak true. The Wolford reputation stains him, and it shall be his undoing.
So that's your angle.
Enough slander.
You're blind to it, admit it. You rebuffed the Esfrosti army, curried favor with the Saintly Seven, protected Roland, and immediately installed...
Con todo lo que hemos ayudado, ahora nos echan la culpa de que nosotros somos los malos, güey. Madre mía.
You think yourselves above the high houses of Glenbrook, nay, above his majesty himself, who would not want to rid themselves of such a stain.
You suggest King Roland gave the order?
Would he possess such rationality? We would not be in this mess if he did. Thus I decided to intervene, for the good of the kingdom.
So we need only kill you. That is a mercy.
Lo que ha dicho, dice, me es suficiente con esto para matarte. Está censurado la traducción. Hay Nintendo que no censura y censura PlayStation, Willis. Dice que es lo suficiente para matarlo y lo han traducido como la sale de los huevos.
I bid you listen well. Remain calm. I am not your father, at least not by birth. You are the blood of our former king, Ragnar.
Tu verdadero padre.
I promised His Majesty I would hide the truth from you. Forgive me.
Le hice una promesa al rey.
Destra was indeed your mother. That much was no lie. She was a commoner in the Crown City.
A woman of little means and low station, but possessed of unparalleled intellect.
Es un bastardo, Willy. Esto es copiado como Juego de Tronos, como John Nieve. John Nieve, hijo de... también como bastardo del rey. Y este lo acogió el rey del otro reino. Este es guau, Willy. Madre mía, la copia de Juego de Tronos.
But her low station made that unthinkable. In time, the royalists found out and plotted her murder.
Entonces este es el verdadero heredero al trono, Willy. Madre mía, todo copiado de Juego de Tronos, Willy, todas las cosas que están pasando. Por eso soy el heredero.
Sadly, your dear mother passed not long after you were born. It was
El
she
meme
who
de
made
Speren
it.
está brutal.
It was the one thing she was able to pass down to you. And now I leave you this.
The royal signet.
Este es tu
Only one
anillo.
of Glenbrook's royal line may wear it. I was to keep it until the time was right. And so it is now.
Father, you leave me completely unmoored. What am I to do with this unspeakable knowledge?
I leave you with a heavy burden. This I know better than any. Be strong, Serenoa. Forge her own path.
Debes
Lead
ponerte a la
the
cabeza.
people. Keep watch over him, Benedict.
I will.
No, Father. Stay with me. Please.
All this and still, you call me father. I am proud of you, my son.
Y todos los otros hijos del rey son rubios menos este que es moreno, como el John Nieve, Willy.
Please.
Madre mía, qué copia de Juego de Tronos a la japonesa. Es que encima la ropa y todo y los reinos son como Juego de Tronos. Está uno que es del norte, el otro que es del centro de las tierras verdes, el del sur que son como los moros, lo que pasa es que le han cambiado los papeles, los roles a uno y a
He
otro.
admitted as much himself.
I can assure you he acted alone. King Roland was not a party to the plot.
That is fortunate, yes. But the mere fact of it could tear Glenbrook apart, were it to be made known. Lord Simone's assassination must be kept secret, my lord.
You would have me say his illness claimed him then.
Y los charcos de sangre en el suelo, güey. Los
I thank you
charquitos,
for your assistance, Milo. Speak not a word of this to anyone.
I shan't. For the good of House Wolford.
I cannot fathom why he thought us to be enemies. We mean no harm to the royal family.
Misplaced as his fears may be, we must stand ready to defend ourselves, in word and deed, from any who may reach similar conclusions. That includes King Roland himself.
You heard Anna. Roland didn't issue the order. What are you plotting, Benedict?
que no ha
I seek
traicionado
only
el
to ensure
príncipe,
House
Willy.
Wolford's survival. Lord Simone was murdered. Other enemies may well be within our ranks as we speak. They must be stopped at all costs, no matter who they are.
Can I count on your continued guidance, Benedict?
Glenbrook's throne is yours for the taking. You have the claim and the
En el
might
trono
to
de
back it up.
Glaucoburgo, Willy, juego de trono total.
Your Lord Father beseeched you to forge your own path and lead the people. Might you not best accomplish that if you were king?
Perhaps. But I would sooner fall upon my own sword than usurp the throne from my friend. The truth of my lineage does not leave this room. I shall keep it hidden along with this ring.
As you wish, my lord. I trust your judgment.
I come bearing a missive from King Roland. He requests your presence in the Crown City immediately. The Frosty survivors are on the move.
Nos traicionará, no creo, ¿no? ¿Te imaginas? Yo nada más que empezó el juego dije, el rubio, el Roland, es el malo que ha orquestado todo esto. ¿Te imaginas que al final es verdad? Nada más empezar el juego, aparecen los bandidos, nos salva el Roland, muy amigos nuestros. Empiezan a caer todos los hermanos. Bueno, ya lo acabamos. Y el estuche y ya está. Para colección, para de no jugar nunca más el juego.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital. But what they experienced while they were away could very well alter the course of destiny itself.
Ado. ¡Esperen! ¡Esperen al 2025!
Is there something on your mind, Roland?
¿Nos traicionará el Roland?
Serenoa, I do not know what I should do.
A este le habrá comido la cabeza al otro. Le habrá dicho que nosotros somos hijos del rey y todo eso.
I've made sure those damned royalists will never cause trouble again. Was such harsh punishment truly necessary? Of course it was. When they should have been helping to rebuild the kingdom, they instead profited off the people's hardship. And on top of that, they sought to string me up as their puppet king. I understand, but... You know what they told me? They said that is what Glenbrook truly is. That it must be ruled with the royalists' careful mediation between the royal family and their loyal subjects. They said good kings need not think for themselves. They said my father and my brother understood that. Even if that is true, you have the power to change it. I tried. That is the entire reason I took the throne. But nothing has changed. No matter how many corrupt aristocrats I've cast out. This kingdom has always been broken. As Frost's invasion just ensured we could never put the pieces back together.
O sea que él quiere ser un rey absolutista,
I do not
Willy.
have the strength to reconcile a land and people torn apart by hatred and greed. I cannot give Glenbrook what it needs, king though I may be. Roland.
Son hermanastros.
Apologies, my friend.
Bueno, son hermanos de padre.
You burden me with nothing.
No hermanastros.
But if you are struggling,
son medio hermanos, ¿no?
Trust me. So long as you are by my side.
Roland se ha vuelto a unir al grupo. ¡Esperen! ¡Que nos traen las pilas para el mando!
Serenoa, I would speak with you before we meet with the others.
Vamos a ver, ¿qué ha pasado con
Is
esto?
something the matter? I was led to believe the Rosellan village escaped all but unscathed.
Pray, look at this.
El libro de... para liberarlos de una algia.
We recovered it from a band of brigands. It once belonged to the Frosty archives. It was authored by one Orlea, my mother. Inside is the truth about the Roselle.
Al final el trono se lo van a quedar dos bastardos, Willy. El bastardo moreno de Glaucoburgo y la bastarda pelirrosa de Fraguelada. Los dos son hijos bastardos de los monarcas que habían antes. Este en vez de Juego de Tronos, Juego de Bastardos, Willy.
in a place called
Centralia, Willy, eso es la ciudad original de Silent Hill.
Centralia was on the shore of a vast expanse of salt water they called the sea. Back then, the Norzelia we know was at the bottom of that sea. But a cataclysm dried up all the water, and thus this land came to be. The salt crystallized and sank into the earth, the very earth we now walk upon.
I cannot envision such a thing.
After the cataclysm, only one small lake of salt remained. War raged on and on as people fought to control it. The Roselle tried to stop the fighting by digging up a giant pillar of salt to show everyone the secret they had long kept. But Hyzant, whose power over Norzelia came from controlling the lake and the salt it produced, could not allow the truth to get out. They captured the Roselle, branded them criminals who tried to seize control of the salt for themselves, and confined them to the lake.
And what of the pillar?
Lo convirtieron en la estatua.
Hyzant stole it and hid it inside the very statue of the goddess that towers over the source.
How can you be certain?
During the uprising, my mother broke the statue and recovered a fragment of the pillar within. I found that very fragment during my visit to the village.
Incredible. If what you say is true, the teachings are a lie. This will shake Hyzant to its very foundations.
And we would be able to free the Roselle from their imprisonment at the source.
With so much at stake, we must be careful in what we do now. Frederica, I would ask for more time to think this through.
Frederica.
I have every faith in House Wolford. And in you.
Frederica se ha vuelto a unir al grupo.
That is the extent of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Roselle and the Salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how
Tenemos que elegir otra vez qué vamos a hacer.
It is most devastating. Serenoa, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he bade me lead House Wolfort well. I see. Then we must all do what we can to help you honor that request.
Your Majesty, what do you plan to do about the Royalists who misappropriated supplies?
As far as I've been able to discern, those involved acted out of greed and self-interest. They must all be punished. Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them who support the Glenbrook line. Will that not impact your governance?
Perhaps. But to pardon their crimes would kindle the people's ire. We must make an example of them. To appease the people. To make clear the consequences of engaging in such foolhardy behavior.
Did something else happen in the capital, King Roland?
Vamos a ver.
Nothing you need concern yourself with.
Solo me
I must
incumbe a mí.
say, I wish
Le habrá
not to learn
contado
about
que
Roselle
nosotros
much.
somos el verdadero
I
heredero,
suppose
¿no?
the contents of that book could be true.
The
Pero eso
part
no
of
es así
their
porque,
homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast
porque si no
saltwater
estaba
sea,
casado realmente con la otra no es heredero, es bastardo.
that of the untapped salt crystals beneath Norzelia? Or that, in order to monopolize the salt trade, Hyzant fabricated the Roselle's sins? That the pillar of salt Hyzant stole from the Roselle is hidden within the statue of the goddess? If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know on its head. It would mean the teachings of the Holy State are not but lies.
If you still
En el
doubt whether it is
2025
true,
tiene rima,
perhaps
entonces te dan el
Wolford
juego y te la
showed you.
meten también. Tiene 2 por 1. 2025 te la hinco con el juego.
No.
Viene una hincada
A
gratuita.
salt crystal. I found it hidden in the Rosellan village. It is a fragment from the pillar within the statue of the goddess. One my mother obtained during the uprising.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
What? Where?
At the Grand Norzellian mines. But we cannot be sure what they are doing. None of our scouts have returned.
These frosty dogs. We will speak later, Serenoa. First, we must put down whatever the Duchy is planning at the mines. I need you and your people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
Vamos a ver las minas, que es lo que tenían. Supongo que tendrán sal, obviamente. Tienen sal y tienen metal. Las dos cosas.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told. Seems such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.
A2, fin, pum. Vale, muy bien. A2. Se ve obviamente que falta un montón de combates de estos que nos metieron dentro de la historia, pero vamos.
Roland and House Wolffort succeed in reclaiming Glenbrook, but they cannot rest easy, for new dilemmas threaten to tear the kingdom apart. For one, the secret of Serenoa's birth come to light with Lord Simon's passing. Meanwhile, the newly crowned King Roland struggles to reconcile his ideals with reality after punishing the Royalists. Finally, there's the truth about the Roselle and the untapped salt crystals buried within the earth, revealed in a book to Frederica from her late mother. None of these revelations have an easy solution. As all parties discuss the matters, they receive word that the survivors of the Isfrosti army are gathering at the Grand Norzellian mines. Forced to put all else aside to focus on driving out their foe, Serenoa and his comrades steel themselves for battle.
Duerme, pobre amigo.
The remnants of the Isfrosti forces are gathering at the Grand Norzellian mines. Or perhaps I should say they are rallying there, preparing to defend it to the last.
Something tells me you're right.
¿Qué pasa, Chimo Meister?
Gustadolf may have used Lord Dragan's murder as pretext for invading Glenbrook. Yet I believe his true aim was to seize control, not of our kingdom, but of the mines.
Once Glenbrook fell to them, Esfrost did indeed continue mining operations, with notable zeal. Apparently, they transported huge shipments of what they excavated to the Duchy, too.
You mean iron ore?
One would assume as much, but we do not know for certain. They say only a chosen few were allowed to have anything to do with the mining or transport.
Odd, ain't it? Granted, the iron from the Grand Norzelian mines is supposed to be decent stuff.
But the Duchy has access to plenty of other iron mines of comparable quality.
Claro, porque hay algo más que el hierro.
They've certainly no need to go to such pains to obtain resources from this one.
You reckon there's something special about it?
Por eso han cortado las relaciones diplomáticas con Dunalgia, porque la sal ya no le hace falta. Pero a los demás sí le hacen falta el hierro.
I've returned from scouting the Grand Norzelian mines. There were no signs of miners or couriers anywhere. The enemy's numbers do not appear that great, but the soldiers were occupied with some task within the mine. I cannot say exactly how many they are.
Thank you, Hewitt. Well done. Well, there you have it. The Asfrosti army is scheming something at the mines. Whatever they are planning, we cannot allow them to continue unchallenged.
Then let us reclaim the Grand Norzelian mines. And in doing so, we shall discover the Duchy's aims in due course.
Tin, tin, tin. Tin, 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 tin. Basílica del Oráculo.
And in doing so,
Vamos a ver qué nos cuentan los cloneros, güey.
From the sanctions and reopen trade with us.
King Roland is truly a man of his word.
Furthermore, during the battle for the Crown City, our forces sustained nary a scratch, while the Asfrosti were all but crushed. We could not have asked for a more auspicious outcome.
An outcome that would not have been possible without the Elfric we supplied them. Still, Minister Serenoa and House Wolford must be given credit for aiding in our victory.
Minister Exham, how strange to hear you lavish such praise upon another.
I am only speaking truth. Leaving Minister Serenoa in Glenbrook's hands is unwise.
I agree. As one of the Sacred Seven, he belongs here with us.
Of course. We shall bring him under our thumb. The Holy One has plans for the young lord. Making him our creature has the added benefit of bringing his entire domain under Byzantian.
La anexión de los dominios del
His
Wolford.
Majesty will be so willing to part with him.
Oh, indeed. And yet King Roland owes us a great debt, which will be all the greater after we help him rebuild the Crown City. We will so overwhelm him with generosity, he will be unable to refuse us anything.
So, you mean to seize Glenbrook as well, Minister Edor? Somehow I am unsurprised.
I seek nothing more than to spread the goddesses' grace and wisdom.
Solo difundiremos su credo. Van a conquistar el país no con las armas, sino con la religión, como hacen muchos, que mandan a otros países cantidades de gente pobre para que vaya difundiendo la religión y procreando en esos sitios y meter su cultura y apropiarse de ellos. Oh, ¿a qué me recuerda eso? ¿A qué me recuerda eso? Pero claro, si lo dice es racista, cuando es una cosa que es real y es así. Y que ya habían dicho que lo iban a hacer. Pero bueno. Y los que dicen que no son los que luego defienden del machismo, vamos a ver machismo. Si la mayoría de delitos y crímenes que lo hacen son gente de otras culturas que son diferentes a las que hay aquí. Increíble. El portón al sótano, güey.
Is this all of it?
Yes, my lord. This is all the cargo we were able to carry. Our comrades at the mine should be putting the final touches on everything right about now.
And why is no one telling me what is happening? I don't even know what cargo you are hauling.
We're only following Archduke Gustadolf's orders, my lord.
Yes, I understand that. Stop your sniveling. Perhaps you may have heard the Archduke has summoned me to Ironstone. This may be the last time I serve at this fort. As such, I would like to show my appreciation for everything you've done. Do you have a moment?
The sentiment is appreciated, my lord, but the Archduke insisted we make haste.
And did he also insist you spit in the face of his uncle's generosity?
No, my lord. Of course not. I meant no disrespect. We shan't refuse your gracious offer.
Come with me.
Se van a quedar cargamento y van a ver lo que hay dentro, ¿eh?
Can all that cargo truly be naught but iron ore? I suppose I shall have to find out what it is for myself.
Yo no sé para qué te saca el menú, que siga la cinemática ya, que te la coma. Es que te sale el menú, ¿para qué quieres salir el menú? Si no puedes combatir. Que siga la puta cinemática. Boom, reventado.
Were those the only ones?
I do not understand. There were far more soldiers here when I came scouting.
They've mined more since the last time we were here. Perhaps the enemy is further within.
Likely that's the case. But navigating these twisted tunnels ain't gonna be fun.
Indeed. The enemy may be waiting to ambush us around any corner. I advise we familiarize ourselves with the nearby tunnels before we head any deeper into the mine, Lord Serenoa.
Las pesquisas, ¿no, güey?
Let's take care to cover our tracks while we look around.
A investigar las pesquisas. Las vagonetas, Willy. Las tropas deberían estar apostadas en la entrada. ¿Por qué han decidido adentrarse en los túneles? Saludos, loconas y locunis. En los túneles escondidos, Willy. Me huele a chamusquina, dice, vamos. Obviamente huele a chamusquina. Esto es chamusquina total. Estoy mami. Fibra excepcional. Estoy mirando a ver si veo algo brillar por aquí, pero no veo nada. Aquí. Madera de calidad. Las convicciones se han reforzado. ¿Por qué? ¿Por montarme a la vagoneta? ¿En serio? Vale, de tontería, ¿no? Te montas la vagoneta y se refuerza la convicción.
Benedict, these spheres everywhere. Unless I'm mistaken, they're explosives.
Es una trampa. Quieren volarlo todo.
Yes, a means Lord Dragan devised for breaking through the bedrock. They aren't as powerful as blast crystals, but they are simple to set and can be manipulated to go off at the same time.
Reckon I'll go collect whatever charges are left, my lord. Just to be safe.
Thank you. I do not find it strange that there are explosives in a mine, only that they have been left here.
Indeed. As deadly as they are, one would hope they were stored more safely.
You'd think the miners would have put them at the far end of the tunnel if they meant to use them.
But they're everywhere, along the whole length.
If they were to detonate, the entire tunnel would collapse.
Then they must have been left here on purpose.
Intruders! Get them! Yes, Frosty Army!
Intrusos a las armas, Zapata, Willy Bobbies. Clicking. Así podemos comprar algo, subir a los personajes de nivel. A ver, viejo, si tiene algo de comprar. Esfera cristalina. Así podemos subirlo de nivel hasta el máximo. Maestra asesina, güey.
I await your orders.
Ya no puedo mejorar a nadie más, ¿no? A Rastafari Willy puede subir, ha subido de nivel.
Might I be of service?
El viejo también puede subir de nivel.
Never stop learning.
Así podemos mejorar algún arma, güey. El clonero, A ver, clonero, se trae nuevas asistencias para comprar. Hierro. Vamos a ver qué podemos mejorar, Willy. Espina insólita te pide. Viejo, pues subir. La bailarina. Putona, güey. Madre mía, putoncillo. Qué putoncillo. Qué putoncillo bueno, güey. Qué putoncia. Es Mr. Putoncia. Mrs. Putoncia, güey. Es Mrs. Putoncia. Putoncia. Willy Boobies. Willy Boo Boo. Willy Boo Boo Boobies.
Does Frosty mean to seal off the mine?
Do not let them through the tunnel. Kill them.
Que no quede ni uno.
But this is House Wolford we're up against, Commander.
Think I don't know that? The battle won't be easily won. But if we've the metal to use our explosives, victory may cost us our lives, but we can take those Wolford curs with us. We must blockade the mines. Soldiers, make ready.
Aye! No, they don't mean to.
They would blow the tunnel at the cost of their own lives?
Un subnormal es profundo. Ay, Willy, qué sueño de este juego. Este juego sirve para dormir, ¿eh? Condiciones para la derrota. Que se detone al menos una de estas explosivas.
Leave it to me!
Shall we? My magic is at your disposal.
¿Y cuántas bombas hay? Ah, vale, lo de las vagonetas era para explicarte cómo funcionaban. Si pilla a un tío en la vía, lo mata. Ay, zapata, güey, chinguele tu madre.
Comrades, we will.
If it costs us our lives to destroy...
My turn.
¿Cómo era para entrar la vagoneta? No me deja opción de nada. Ah, vale, que te puedes poner aquí. Boom.
For victory!
Choices. Think you can catch me? Ever more lovely.
This battle is ours. This battle is won. I will fight to my last breath.
Ataque por la espalda, más un punto.
aren't we?
Y yo otra bomba, me cago en la puta, tío. ¿Y yo cuántas putas bombas seguidas van a poner? Esto es una locura de mierda, tío.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Te juego el Triangle Strategy de la Switch. De la Sandwich.
Allow me.
Now then, to work.
¿Te me va por una bomba o qué? ¿Y yo en serio, tío? ¿No me dejas subir para arriba?
Sound strike for life. Sound strike.
My turn.
Mira, perfecto.
For my kingdom!
Feisty, aren't we?
For the honor of House Wolfort.
Hostia.
To lead, I must grow.
This battle is ours. This ends now!
Now what to do? You won't know up from down. Ever more lovely.
Primera desarmada, Willy.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather. Lightning! I can help more than ever now.
Shall we begin?
Otra bomba ahí, yo tío, en serio.
Time for some research.
Joder, Willy.
Come on!
Start joking.
Muerto,
Further the
campeón.
arcane arts.
I fight for peace. With the we can win
Voy a meter
this
fuego,
for a
güey,
better
zapata.
world.
Time to work.
I'll take this.
Feisty, aren't we?
No le puedo pegar desde ahí, en serio, tío.
I won't lose! I'll try this. I shirk from no danger.
For the honor of House Wolfort.
This ends here.
Muerto,
lead.
tieso, Willy.
Must grow.
Tieso,
Time to
Willy.
take flight.
Mira. Puedo ponerme aquí. Desactivada la bomba. Ah, me pondrá otra, ¿verdad?
Cool heads shall prevail.
Choices, choices.
Oportunidades, oportunidades.
touch me.
Puñaladita ahora por la espalda, Willy.
You poor thing.
Y me contesta el puto cerdo. Venga, atropellamiento.
Time for some research. Free.
No puedo
I
subir.
fight for peace.
Lucho para la paz. Pero a ese lo matarás.
Heed my call for a better world. I hope you're watching, grandfather. The fruits of my did it! I'll make you proud, grandfather.
Your orders?
¿Es un veneno también? Venga, perfecto, envenenado. Venga, bomba.
Leave everything to me.
Venga, bomba, bombas, bombas, bombas.
What are you and your
Sorry to
cups
worry.
about? I'm old, not a pushover.
My turn.
Yo, Willy, tío, estoy todo el rato. Otra bomba cabona, ¿eh?
Defeat is not an option.
Time to take flight.
Que podían dar punto de experiencia, poderse armar la bomba por lo menos, ¿no? Digo yo, ¿no? Digo yo. Digo yo, podrían, ¿no? Un poquito, darte algo, ¿no? Podrían darte algo, ¿no?
How dare you? Now.
Me deja un
This'll
tío ahí
come
abajo.
in handy.
No. Venga, refuerzo, increíble.
For the duchy! For the
Fue el archiducado. Ya nos pondrán bombas allí también.
So, it falls to me.
Obviamente, ¿no? Ah, nos pondrán bombas allí.
I fight for peace.
Time to work.
Time to work.
Shadows conceal me.
Shadows, las sombras, Willy Boobies.
Here I come.
Nuestro amigo no llega a poner bomba.
It's not over yet.
Pero él se cura y gana experiencia, güey. Bomba, ¿no?
Leave everything to me.
Yo, tío, esto es una mierda. Se mueve menos que la... Yo qué sé, tío. Un gato escayola, Willy.
I won't lose.
Defeat is not an option. This ends here.
Time to take flight.
Oh. Dios, puedo llegar súper lejos, huele.
Try this. Cool heads shall prevail.
Esta tía me dando vuelta como un tonto, ¿eh? Hostia, no me acordaba que tenía ya estos gentuzos.
Now what to do?
Time for some research.
Muerta, uy.
I can still stand. With the powers in me, we will make our ideals reality.
Oh.
I hope
Oh,
you're watching,
puta bomba, güey.
Feisty, aren't we?
Si puedo hacer algo y yo si no puedo hacer nada, tanto rato viéndose los personajes.
Forward.
Se quedó aquí más solo que la una.
Let me heal your wounds.
We mustn't let our guard down. Ha! My pride is my shield.
Where was I?
Yo qué mierda de pantalla, tío. Ah, poner todos juntitos.
I can still stand. Lane, heed my call for a better world. Here I come.
Marine.
Ice! Uh-oh. I did it.
Feisty, aren't we?
Nada, y yo, Willy, que no llego a pegarle.
Stay out of my way. Saw right through you.
Buah.
Ow, ow, ow. Well, congratulations are in order.
Charge!
Hostia, me puedo pegar.
You don't stand a chance. I shirk from no danger.
Defeat is not an option.
My turn.
My turn. Muere.
One more round. Well, that worked.
Y ahora no puedo hacer lanzaveneno. Me lo creo, más refuerzos, tío. Y yo, venga ya, encima. Te aparecen por toda la punta, tío. Increíble, tío.
Be at ease.
Much better.
One step closer to our hope.
Time for some research.
Come on! It isn't over yet. Let's play. Ha!
Puto cerdo. Venga, otra bomba, huele. Sí, estoy en cachondeo, tío.
Here we can win
Just for
this.
you.
Venga, no se muere Illo, tío. Qué increíble, ¿eh? Increíble.
I'll show you what I can do.
En serio. Una magia ha hecho el puto mago en todo el camino, tío.
My turn. Stand here.
And where shall we strike?
Y este nada más dando vueltas para arriba y para abajo. Voy para un lado, me salen por el otro. Voy para el otro, me salen por el otro. Y ya. Yo, cuánta gente ha aparecido, pecha gente, y yo, tío.
Let me heal your wounds.
Your wounds are... Thank you. Here I come.
Time for some research.
Free. To further the arcane arts.
Choices, choices.
It's been fun.
Muerto, hijo de puta, verga.
At this rate,
Vengo para acá, me atropella.
For myself. Time for some sorcery. Don't be afraid.
Muerto, campeón.
For victory. Be gone. For my kingdom.
Come on, then.
Y me curo.
Thank
Brum.
goodness.
Forward.
Este pobre Illo, tío. Y este pobre que no hace nada.
He has my gratitude.
Cántaro de queroseno.
Into the shadows.
Cool heads shall
Me ataca y a la vez pone una bomba. Qué bien hecho. Cuando en el juego no te deja hacer eso, pues bueno, él sí lo puede hacer.
Here, thank you. My growth is plain to see.
This battle is ours. Boogie!
I'll be fine.
Free!
Shall we dance?
Elijo danzar.
Think you can catch me?
You won't escape.
I'm cutting you off.
I will end this. With the we can win this!
For victory!
This is it! For the honor of House Wolford.
No puedo hacer nada, tío, con el personaje.
Time for some sorcery.
Encima vale. No le hago yo daño y él... Qué increíble, tío.
This might sting some. I'm old, not a pushover.
Venga, me da a todo el mundo, tío. Exagerado, ¿eh? Exagerado.
Let me heal your wounds. Go swiftly.
Steady now.
I can still move.
Victory is within reach. Sound strike.
Choices, choices.
Elecciones.
You won't
Como
know
ahora
up from
aparezcan por el
down.
principio otra vez gente, ya verás que me río, tío.
I've never felt better.
Me río, Willy. ¿Qué pasa, Adolfo Way, Zapata?
Charge! Be gone!
Victory is within
Para
reach.
tu casa.
And where shall we strike?
Perish. His frosty soldiers have...
Ya están todos eliminados. Eliminados. Eliminados, Willy, están eliminados. Pam pa pim pom pim pom pim pom piporiro tarirorito ta na 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 na.
That was close. To think they tried to collapse the tunnel with themselves still inside.
Why would the Esfrosti blow themselves up to destroy the place they were charged to defend? It makes no strategic sense.
Nothing else, Frost, does make sense. But if they were this desperate, there must be something in there they do not want us finding.
Un momento que miro una cosa.
We must see what lies at the end of this tunnel.
Now let us press on.
¿Lo ves, sal? Lo que yo había dicho, está todo lleno de sal.
It's salt. Or rather, salt crystal.
Crystallized salt, untapped beneath the earth. The Rosellan legend my mother recorded is true.
The Grand Norzellian mines must have been built upon a vein of crystals. This explains how Esfrost was able to cut ties with Hyzant.
As long as they could excavate their own, they didn't need to rely on the salt from the Holy State. They could fight without it.
How do you think Gustadov discovered this?
Lord Dragan was in charge of the mines, until he was assassinated in that sudden Esfrosty raid, which Gustadov used as a pretense to invade Glenbrook, after which he claimed control of the mines. That tells me...
Oh, qué sorpresa, había sal. No lo esperaba nadie.
Likely the first to discover the salt crystals. However, a struggle ensued between him and Gustadov over their ownership.
So Gustadov had him killed in order of the invasion of Glenbrook. In order to seize control of the mines and secure the salt crystals for himself. That scheming bastard!
Looks like we made the right call, taking back the mines. We already took loads of salt crystals to the Duchy, but even that ain't gonna last them forever.
Indeed. If we can hold the mines, Esfrost will have no choice but to surrender.
And what if they discover another vein of salt crystals elsewhere?
A real possibility, if the Rosellan legend is to be believed. But the Grand Norzellian mines only succeeded because all three powers worked together. If this is the kind of terrain salt crystals are found in, Esfrost cannot dig a new mine all on their own that easily.
Meaning they are at their most vulnerable now, without a source of salt to call their own.
This does not concern only Esfrost. The existence of salt crystals will undermine the very foundation upon which Hyzant is built.
Salt is a divine boon, a gift from the goddess.
La protección divina de la diosa, dice.
That is the religious precept Hyzant uses to explain why they alone control the source. But the mere fact these crystals exist means salt can be found outside the source. It disproves the goddess's teachings.
If people knew that, then the two pillars of Hyzantian power, the source and the might of their goddess, would crumble.
And it would prove the Rosellan legend is true.
Un saludo, Joseph.
If we reveal the truth, they would be forced to free the Roselle they've imprisoned.
We hold the very future of Norzelia in our hands.
Whatever we decide to do, we cannot decide it lightly.
Indeed. For now, let us return to the Crown City. Huet, send word to the capital. I want Kingdom soldiers posted around this entire area. Tell them to allow no one anywhere near the mines.
It shall be done, sire.
Pam, Dios mío. Ha sido una revelación increíble. Y esta va a dar chivatazo, ¿eh?
This must be what the old man was hoping to find.
Chivatazo huele.
So, our army failed to secure the Grand Norzellian mines.
It would seem House Wolfort interfered.
Glenbrook forces already surround the area, so retaking the mines is likely out of the question. They must have discovered the salt crystals. Damn them. Gather our soldiers, and be quick about it. Aye, Your Grace.
I see you finally decided to answer my summons, Svarog.
I shan't use laboring in secret to complete the death knell as an excuse. Punish me as you see fit. If you think you can, that is.
I ought to wipe that impertinent smile off your face.
I saw what they brought in from the Grand Norzelian mines.
Huh. So you know of the salt crystals?
Enough secrets, Gustadolf. Tell me what you are planning.
To use those salt crystals to put the final nail in Hyzan's coffin. To free the people of Norzelia from their tyranny by ending their monopoly over salt.
By which you mean the strong will be free to trample the weak. Is that it?
I will not argue semantics. Though it is at least far more human to struggle for one's own survival, rather than capitulate to the whims of some goddess. People have the right to discover their own strength, and wield it to claim what is rightfully theirs. Just as you are contesting me at this very moment, Umkor.
How long have you known of the salt crystal's existence?
Cuando me lo dijo tu hijo.
Long ago, when I read of them in an old text from the archives. Ancient knowledge should never be discarded. As you well know, since you had Dragan study there to perfect his explosives.
You are the one who had him killed.
Spare me your unfounded speculation.
Unfounded, you say? Dragan oversaw the mine. It only stands to reason that he would have discovered the salt crystals first. So you, in your greed, had him killed, so that you might claim his discovery for your own.
Y ahora va a matar a su tío, ¿eh?
But you used his murder as a pretext to invade Glenbrook. Am I wrong?
El Starfield me lo voy a pasar en directo. Voy a hacer directo por YouTube, por Twitch, por Instagram, por Facebook. Vamos, hasta voy a poner una tele por fuera de mi ventana para que lo vea la gente a la calle.
What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. Indeed, Dragan did discover the salt crystals. Who else do you think told me of their existence? Yet he refused to hand them over unless I made him Prime Minister of Esfrost. And your son's scheming didn't end there. At the same time, he had initiated negotiations with Glenbrook. He offered them salt crystals in exchange for a noble title. He sought to fatherland and foe for all he could get.
Lies! All of it!
Eso es verdad.
You dishonor my son's name.
I thought if anyone understood the extent of Dragan's ambition, it would be you. Uncle, now is not the time for family squabbles. Glenbrook now knows of the salt crystals. It is but a matter of time until Hyzant learns of them as well. We must make ready to stand against them.
What would you have me do?
The death knell is taking far too long to build. See that it is finished with haste. Do that, and I will name you my Prime Minister, so you may fulfill your dearly departed son's dream in his stead.
Very well.
There is no time to waste. War will be upon our doorstep before we know it. A war to end all wars. A war whose victor shall rule Norzelia in her glorious entirety.
Starfield Gotti, Dios mío, increíble. Vamos, ese juego, el Starfield, no lo voy a tocar ni con un puto palo lleno de mierda. Increíble. Pero es que esta gente se cree que nosotros nos alegramos que se retrase el Starfield como que no va a poder combatir con nosotros. Vamos, el Starfield va a ser una puta basura, salga este año o el que viene. Nosotros nos alegramos porque esos hijos de la gran puta se la pasaron meses atacando, insultando, acosando porque habían retrasado, ¿cuánto era? ¿1 mes y medio el Horizon Zero Dawn? Basuras de mierda inmunda, asquerosa. A ellos sí les duele porque el God of War es candidato al GOTY y porque el Horizon es candidato al GOTY y son juegazos. Y el Starfield es una puta mierda. Esta mierda que no lo enseñan el juego, de basura que...
Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolford gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
Y ojito lo que me voy a reír cuando salga la carátula de PlayStation 5. Luego dirán, piperos, es que vosotros estáis pagando el juego. Eso es lo que van a decir, ojito, acordaros. Microsoft siempre gana, Willy.
This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs, is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold him.
Hyzant will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
She's right. They will stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Esfrost go quietly into the night.
Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours, or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
La mina, eso solo nos perjudica a nosotros, la mina.
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
Tenemos que reventar la mina, Willy, porque la mina nos va a atacar farahuelada y nos va a atacar de energía los dos.
Can I count on you to walk the path with me, whatever it may be?
I was named Lord of House Wolfort long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven. And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolfort and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzant.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Muchas cinemáticas por la pantalla, Willy.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook.
Boom.
Deep within the Grand Rosalian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible! Does she mean salt can be found outside the source?
Yes, but we were well aware of that. Rosellan legends tell us as much.
Well, no one told me of these legends.
This is not about you. By the Hierophant's decree, not even the Saintly Seven are to be told of the goddess's works.
The discovery of salt outside the source explains Gustadolf's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzant.
Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Of course. But how?
Atacando. Corneli.
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Norzelian mines in Hyzant's name.
Boom, a atacar, güey.
Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolfort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor-bound to heed the Hierophant's word. But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolfort en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
¿Qué pasa, güey,
You are
Zapata?
free to deal with him, as we
¿Ya tienes
do
tu
with
Play
all
5, güey?
who forsake the goddess.
Pues a jugar al Demon Soul, ¿no? Te habrás comprado el Demon Soul, ¿no? Para jugarlo, ¿no? Y el Horizon Forbidden West. Y yo, Willy, esto tantas cinemáticas no se acaba en la vida. No existe ningún juego en la historia con tantas cinemáticas. Y con menos jugabilidad con este, Willy.
That Hyzant intends to raise
Le
an
está
army
contando los
against
rumores, ¿eh?
Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar.
So it's reached the consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzant's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Esfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
Yo lo que quiero saber es qué juego estarán haciendo Blue Point Game, Willy. ¿Qué juego estarán haciendo esta gente?
Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
¿Estarán haciendo el Silent Hill 2 Remake? ¿O el Silent Hill 2 Remake que lo está haciendo son los de...
I believe House Wolfort's actions from here on.
los personajes estos de Medium?
House Wolfort, you say?
El Bluebird Team ha firmado un contrato de Sony de distribución de juegos, o sea que el Silent Hill que están haciendo ellos, Play 5 va a salir.
I shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
Ah, es verdad, no había jugado el DLC tú, porque el DLC no estaba para PC4. El ejército de Farahuelada. Esto va a pasar como un Juego de Tronos. Al final van a terminar los tres reinos reventados, Willy. Los tres ejércitos reventados van a acabar.
I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolfort is led by one of the saintly seven of Hyzant. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzant will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Esfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzant to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death Knell, is nearly complete. With it,
La nueva arma, la Titánide,
back at Hyzant.
será un barco, una nave voladora. Forespoker, pero es que no veas que van a salir en los 3 seguidos. Va a salir el Forespoker, el Final Fantasy XVI y el Final Fantasy VII Remake parte 2, ¿eh? No veas, en un año. De octubre de este año a octubre del año que viene salen los 3 juegos. Y entre medio tienen que salir 2 Dragon Quest de Fly y el nuevo Dragon Quest también. Y el Dragon Quest 3 HD. Y tiene que salir el Valkyrie también. Madre mía, Willy, de Square no veo todo lo que sale. Tiene que salir el Final Fantasy 35 aniversario, que será el del Final Fantasy del 1 al 6 en un pack. Nada más que con Square no vea todo lo que sale de aquí a un año, ¿eh?
Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines.
O vea, los 2 ejércitos, ¿eh?
Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twinsgate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation,
¿Qué hacemos, Willy? ¿Reventamos las minas?
to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Pero es que ahora Square ya no tiene que lanzamientos de juegos de Vengadores, juegos de Tomb Raider, juegos de Deus Ex, no tiene que sacar ninguno. Entonces se puede sacar perfectamente en marzo el Final Fantasy XVI y en noviembre, diciembre, octubre el Final Fantasy VII Remake parte 2.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And yet without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one, and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve?
Va a renunciar al trono.
No, surely you don't mean...
Yes, the goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess, an authority greater than any king. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. The holy state of Hyzant. I have decided that we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzant.
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many. Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
Es maquiavélico, Willy.
Rob you of your kingship.
Eso es el maquiavelismo.
So be it.
O maqueísmo, manaqueísmo, algo así se dice.
There are but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Norzelia under the holy state.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people.
El juego que más se nota el DualSense, ¿cuál era el Horizon? Era que se notaba una pecha. Uno de los últimos que jugué se notaba una pecha. Pasa que ya tengo ya la cabeza perdida, Willy. El Horizon puede ser el último que se notaba, pero un montón.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I'm not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
Would that the boundless salted sea of
Porque den la sal a cambio de que liberen a los Rose.
Conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Just so. We are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost. Countless lives given to Hyzant's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzant's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me.
Aprovechar que el ejército se sale de allí para liberar a los otros y luego que...
To you, my dear. It couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do.
¿Cómo le hace chantaje emocional,
That's
Willy?
why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
Está pidiendo que sacrifique a su pueblo para salvar de ella, pero que en verdad de ella nunca, solo es por raza, no es porque sea su pueblo de verdad, nunca vivió con ella, ni ha vivido allí.
Hyzant will not let us go quietly.
Of course not.
And when that time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls in the Folk's domain at the end of the Norzelia River. The ancestral home of the Roselle.
La tierra prometida, Willy.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well.
¿Qué hacemos, Willy? ¿Nos marchamos con los Rose allí a chingar a pelirrosas?
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend.
El éxodo, Willy.
Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
Venga, chantaje emocional. Si eliges mi camino, mi corazón estará contigo. Oh, ok, claro. Pero eso no es violencia de género, Willy, chantaje emocional y esas cosas. Solo es si pegas y gritas. Si tramas conspiraciones, engaños y otras cosas, eso no es violencia de género, ni de hogar, ni de nada.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
Aquí cada uno te pide una cosa.
They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm and in time dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven.
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess. Or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Esfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzant will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Esfrost.
Ally with Esfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Esfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzant's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Our interests are broadly aligned, yes, but...
Esfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable.
Yo me creía que esto terminaba hoy, Willy, esto no termina nunca, y yo, tío, esto le quedan todavía 3 horas cinemáticas, ¿eh? Madre mía, en mi vida he visto un juego con tantas cinemáticas. Mira, se te apaga hasta la Switch, mira. Se pone en modo reposo la Switch, le tengo que dar mando para que se siga la pantalla encendida.
But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
Escuchadme atentamente.
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Nos pide que traicionemos al Roland.
Is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word,
Hostia,
Benedict.
Willy.
Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
And you are Lord of
Tienes que elegir entre la amistad, el orgullo de tu familia o el amor. Tienes que elegir entre las tres cosas, Willy. ¿Qué pasa, Alejandro? What's your name?
But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason, if not outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa. I pray that you make the right choice. Not only for House Wolford, but for yourself.
¿Qué elegimos, Willy? Guardar la partida. Esto ya es el final. Elegimos una cosa o la otra. A partir de este punto la historia tendrá cambios significativos, así que te recomendamos que guardes tu progreso. ¿Quieres la pantalla guardado? No, ya he guardado. Sí, ya he guardado. Es que también, vamos.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Esfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow
Boom,
the
Willy,
greatest
dictadura
number of
de...
people to live in equality
¿Cómo
and
se
harmony.
llama? Una teocracia,
Do
Willy.
you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Rosal not proof enough that the goddess's bond
Pero más que irte con la tía es no elegir las otras dos opciones que también son una mierda, ¿eh? Porque si eliges tu casa tienes que traicionar también al rey también. Si te vas con el rey, en verdad también una mierda.
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Rosal, is that a small price to you?
It is.
Así es.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ahora ayudar a los otros con fraguelada.
You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not.
Si nos liamos con Fraguela, tenemos que matar al Roland.
Kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
También lo bueno de eso es que si elige este camino es luchar
Lady
contra
Frederica,
la religión,
please.
Willy.
We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us?
Esfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
Ir a la tierra prometida.
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Silence! I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
¿Sabes qué es lo más fácil? Le vamos a dar directamente al pause este y va que elijan ellos automáticamente, Willy. Mira. Mira, Willy. Que voten cada uno lo que le salga a los huevos. Directamente. Y lo que salga lo hagamos. Ya está, Willy.
It is time to cast our votes.
Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa, Willy. Vamos a ver. Ha ganado el rojo. Vamos a ver qué es el rojo. Dunargia. Acertar el plan de Benedict. Boom.
The way forward is decided. We will follow Benedict's plan and join forces with Esfrost to lay Hyzant low.
Boom. Es lo que hay. Ya está. Han elegido por mayoría absoluta, ¿eh? Uno tenía 2 votos, otro tenía 1 voto, lo de los Rose. Nada más lo quería ella, ni su amiga la ha votado lo de los Rose. Pues ya está.
A tumultuous meeting exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future. Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolford. As ever, the scales of conviction have the final word. The time has come.
Tontería más grande. Hemos estado luchando todo el rato con los otros y ahora nos aliamos con los otros. Es que... Final Fantasy XVII va a ser mejor Final Fantasy de la historia. ¿Por qué? Porque tiene a los dos mejores juegos. Tiene Final Fantasy XV y tiene Final Fantasy VII en los números. XV y V2. Señor, acabo de descubrir cuál va a ser mejor Final Fantasy de la historia.
I cannot abide this idiocy. You will defeat Hyzant only to be conquered by Aspfrost.
We are well aware of Gustadolf's cunning. He shan't take advantage of us.
You would ally with them only to stab them in the back later?
If need be.
Have you no shame?
Says the king, who would deliver his own people to Hyzant.
Yes, for that is how we secure peace for the many at the expense of the few.
You know that is not true. Hyzant will conquer all Norzelia if we give them the salt crystals. All will be forced to worship at the feet of the goddess and follow her orders. Just as the Roselle have at the source.
I see House Wolford is determined to walk their path as
Entonces se va, él se va. Me voy.
But as King of Glenbrook, I will not allow it. Lord Wolford, I command you to march on the duchy and strike down Gustadolf.
Ahora le va a enseñar el anillo y él va a decir no.
What? You remain my vassal. I dare you to defy me.
Roland, your majesty.
Venga, Will, el anillo.
You are bound by nothing, Lord Serenoa. You are no one's vassal.
What are you talking about?
El anillo, Willy.
Now is not the time, Benedict.
Lord Serenoa is not the son of Lord Simon. His true parentage is none other than His Majesty King Regna.
You cannot be serious.
Como que el anillo no lo podías tú fabricar, un herrero, ¿eh?
Fell in love with Lady Destra, a commoner living in the Crown City. When it came to light that she was with child, King Regna bowed to pressure from the royalists and had Lord Simon take her in. She bore a
Igual que
son
Juego de Tronos, Willy.
you know today as Serenoa, heir to House Wolford.
If this is true, and you are my elder brother, then you are not bound by my command.
Hold! Roland is the one with the royal ring, is he not? Even if this story is true, is it not Roland who holds claim to the throne?
Roland was not the only one entrusted with a royal ring.
Mete la mano en el bolsillo ahí, Willy.
I do.
It is genuine. There is no mistaking it. What Benedict says must be true. I've always admired you, Serenoa. I knew from the moment we met that you were worthy of respect.
Pero ahora me da vergüenza.
I always felt you to be my better, even as a leader. Yet I still felt a closeness with you I could never place. Now, at last, I have.
Roland,
All the more reason why I cannot concede to you now. Least of all to you, dear brother.
Hostia, mi rival.
Serenoa Wolfort, I challenge you to a duel.
Venga.
To the victor goes the crown.
Pray let us think about this.
On your
Boom.
guard, Serenoa. I do not say this in jest.
Boom.
Cease this quarreling at once. Stop them, Benedict.
I cannot. They must settle this here and
Y el
now.
Benedict es un cinzañao, vamos. Suavón el Benedict, Willy.
Listen to Benedict. This is not your fight. Do you have the courage of your convictions, brother?
Roland, stop this madness. I have no desire to sit upon the throne. I only wish to aid you in protecting our kingdom, the only home we've ever known.
I have no doubt. You've been a peerless friend. I would trust you with my life. But the truth has been revealed and our
Todo el
paths
rato lo
diverged.
estaba ayudando, Willy,
You said it yourself. There can only be one way forward.
That has naught to do with our lineage. Our bloodlines need not be shackles.
Shackles? Ha! I have fought tooth and nail to protect what you now decry.
I know you have suffered, brother.
How can you? You who had your father's love, the unwavering trust of your subjects, proved yourself time and again so effortlessly. I ask you to prove yourself once more.
Roland, please.
I have toiled in your shadow while you led House Wolford to glory. I have revered you and envied you in equal measure. I long to be like you. And I long to claim victory over you. Just once.
I am not worthy of such adulation. Nor am I alone the reason we've come this far. We are all in this together.
I knew you would seek to erase yourself from our history if you knew how I felt. Don't you dare shrink from me! Stand and fight so I can best you!
Oh, Willy, matanza de hermanos.
I have no will to fight you, brother. I want none of this.
But life does not always turn out how we want. Of this, you and I are now keenly aware. You asked me to put aside my feelings when you talked of joining with Esfrost. Now I ask you to do the same. Prove to me that you have what it takes to deal with Esfrost and crush Hyzant. That you can cut out a part of yourself to do what you think must be done. Show me you can create this bold new future you speak of.
Very well. The scales of conviction have spoken, and House Wolford shall heed their word. If you would stand in our way and seek to prevent us from walking the path we have chosen, so help me.
Boom,
as
Willy.
Lord of House
Le va a dar
Wolford,
muerte,
shall
güey.
cut you down where you stand.
Yes. Let us see who is the better between us.
On your guard.
Ah! Ah! Huh!
Muerto. Ugh.
Seems it was me, dear brother.
In the end, I cannot escape your shadow. Kill me. It is only fitting that it is you who strikes the final blow.
What will become of Glenbrook?
That is up to you. I leave the kingdom in your hands. You have the ring, the royal blood. And it was House Wolford that reclaimed the kingdom. The people and the nobles will assent to your rule. so long as I am gone.
This is no time to waver, Lord Sarah.
Hijo de puta, le dice que lo
Roland
mate.
initiated the duel. The
Qué
terms are
cabrón es
his
el
to
Benedy, Willy. Es un hijo de puta el Benedy.
Letting him live will only prolong our troubles.
You think I do not know that? You ask the impossible. My friend, my brother.
Lo va a matar el viejo, el cabrón. El Benedy se lo va a cargar.
You are cruel in your kindness, Serenoa. I have neither the constitution nor the fortitude to be king. I cannot lead as you can, as our father did. I saw the terrifying limits of my abilities, and sought the sweet release of surrendering to a higher power. Would you have such a coward live?
I've watched you confront these parts of yourself for as long as I can remember. I've watched you strive to better yourself, to better everyone. You had my undying loyalty and trust. Oh, how I admired you, my friend. How I longed to follow in your footsteps.
Oh, Willy.
And follow you did. But now you must overtake me.
I shall. Just promise me one thing. Promise me that you will watch over me. Every breath, every step, every word from my lips. And the moment you see me stray, you will set me back on the right path.
Para la segunda parte del juego, Willy, va a aparecer el Roland.
Seeing as you bested me in combat.
Se va al exilio.
Farewell, Serenoa. May we never meet again as brother or friend.
Not the parting I would have preferred, but as Roland himself noted, life does not always turn out as
Qué
we
hijo de
want.
puta el Benedy, güey.
Not another word, Benedict. I do not trust myself to show restraint.
El Benedy es como el Grima, lengua de serpiente.
At least we have settled on a path forward. There is work to do.
Esta se va, ¿no? Con el otro, ¿no? Debería irse.
King Roland!
Le va a decir que se quede, que él es el rey. Como ella es una guardia real, tiene que quedarse con el rey.
Do that. Or have you forgotten that you are my one and only sworn liege?
Mi único amo y señor.
Then take this as an order from that liege. Serve Serenoa, as you once served me. I am the only one who need walk this path.
Your Majesty.
Dry your tears, Huet. It is unbecoming for a proud member of the King's Guard.
How can you say that? I never expected our parting to be like this.
I am sorry. But there is something I would tell only you by way of apology. My disagreement with Serenoa and hatred of Esfrost were no lies. I will walk this path, carrying these feelings with me, perhaps forever. But my unwillingness to ally with Esfrost runs deeper than a personal grudge.
Is it because you cannot trust Gustadov?
It is his idea of freedom I cannot trust. In a world of unbridled ambitions, people will stop at nothing to claim power. The strong will prosper, while the weak will struggle.
Los más fuertes, ¿eh?
So if we join forces with Esfrost,
Y los que tienen enchufe.
someday Glenbrook will.
Yes. His ideals of freedom will inevitably create a clear division between the strong and the weak. I cannot abide by that.
I do not think Lord Serenoa wishes for a world like that.
Nor do I. But Benedict will stop at nothing to defeat Hyzant. Who knows what will happen once he joins forces with Gustadolf?
I understand. You wish for me to stay and watch over House Wolford.
Yes. You must take care of Serenoa in my place. And Cordelia as
Tengo la cabeza ardiendo del calor, Willy.
You have my word. You needn't worry about a thing, Your Majesty.
You were a loyal and true knight.
Hostia, Willy, que hemos jugado un combate. ¿Y cuánto llevamos de directo? ¿2 horas? ¿Y nada más un combate, Willy? Roland ha dejado el grupo. Así podemos mejorar. El Roland que lo teníamos al máximo. Tiene nuevos artículos. Tela de araña. ¿Puedo subir a alguien de nivel? No. ¿Y el clonero tiene algo nuevo? Vamos a ver qué cosas podemos subir a nivel. Tenemos dinero de sobra, podemos comprar, a ver. Hierro excepcional 10. Hierro excepcional por 10. A ver. No tiene. El clonero, Willy. Te me he hecho una meadilla, Willy, que me estoy meando. Llevo aquí 2 horas aquí. Ahora vengo. Ahora vengo, güey. Zapata. calor. Qué calor hace, güey, tío. Qué calor hace ya. Ya se nota el puto calor, güey. Una casa de Warforge. A ver si acaba ya el juego, Willy. Quedará un combate y 80 cinemáticas más.
I wish I had never learned of my true lineage. I was happy being Serenoa Wolfort, son of Lord Simone and Lady Destra.
No matter whose blood runs through your veins, you are still yourself.
Thank you, Frederica. But now Roland is gone.
¿Quién viene?
Someone's coming.
El viejo.
It looks like Benedict.
I am in no mood to speak with him. Let us conceal ourselves.
Ahora va a decir, el Benedict era el novio de esta tía.
Lord Simone, Lady Destra, today I revealed the truth of Lord Serenoa's birth and drove Prince Roland from the city. Lord Serenoa will be crowned the king of all Glenbrook, but this is merely the first step of many. We will use the salt crystals to ally ourselves with Esfrost and defeat Hyzant. I will see to it that Lord Serenoa becomes the undisputed ruler of all Norzelia. He has the strength and character worthy of sitting atop this realm, and I shall carve that path to the summit for him. He did not wish for the position, nor this power. But no matter how much he resents me, I will ensure his success. He shares your blood, Lady Destra, and as such, I refuse to see him at the mercy of others again.
Why would you go so far?
Este juego han jugado nada más la primera hora de la demo, lo que han jugado los youtubers.
You were an equal to King Regna in every way. You could have sat upon the throne, and yet you resigned yourself to life as a vassal and took in Lady Destra at your liege's request. You two treated Lady Destra and Lord Serenoa as if they were no more than pawns to be traded about. Back then, I could not forgive you or King Regna. Lady Destra, even now, I find it hard to forgive myself for being unable to save you. Which is why I will make Lord Serenoa a greater ruler than his father or King Regna could ever be. This is my revenge against myself for being so powerless then. I will not repent. I will devote my life to atoning for my incompetence.
La han espiado, ¿eh?
Benedict cared very deeply for Lady Destra.
No, estaban liados.
No amount of regret will change the past. We have no way to go but forward.
My lord, how did the nobles take the news?
They were surprised to hear of Roland's disappearance, as well as of my lineage and intention to ascend the throne. But there was not nearly as much contempt or disorder as I had anticipated.
I also explained that it was King Roland's own decision to abdicate, once he learned the truth.
I think it may have been the royal signet that kept them so composed. They took it as proof that King Regna deemed Serenoa a worthy successor.
Even if they had objections in their heart, they could not act upon them. There is not a soul in Glenbrook who can deny the might.
No lo he visto jugar el Elden Ring, que ha jugado el Elden Ring, pero ahora o hace tiempo. Yo es que el Carbo no lo veo, no miro ni su canal ni miro nada de él.
But she is already within our hands.
Be that as it may, the people must see it as such. I will not be able to get their support should they think I usurped the throne.
Precisely.
In any case, it's hard to believe our young lord's truly the king of Glenbrook.
I never coveted this throne. But we have chosen to ally ourselves with Esfrost and have driven Roland away. I shan't run from my responsibilities any longer. I will take up the mantle of king to serve both Glenbrook and House Wolfort.
A fine resolve, Your Majesty.
Al final nosotros somos un emperador. Nos vamos a convertir en un emperador y la segunda parte del juego que van a sacar es para derrocar al emperador. Es de los 7 sabios de Dunargia, rey de aquí y aliado de Fragua Helada.
Yes, Your Majesty. I will also continue working on our plans for Hyzant.
We cannot afford to lose this battle. Do what you must.
As you command.
Several days later, Serenoa announces that he is the son of the late King Regna, and that Roland, having learned the truth, has abdicated the throne. All suspect that there is more behind the announcement, but House Wolfort has the support of many in the capital city, and so they accept his words. Thus, Serenoa Wolfort takes the throne as the new King of Glenbrook. The joining of House Wolfort and the Kingdom of Glenbrook is yet another twist in the ever-turning narrative of Norzelia. One which Hyzant and Esfrost look on with ever-wary eyes.
Oh, el oráculo, Willy. Que no es oráculo, es un orifa... o... ¿Cómo es? Coño.
I see everyone is here. What might this sudden meeting be about?
El Carbo no tiene ni puta idea de jugar, ¿no? Tenemos a jugar Sonic y a juego de eso en la época aquella, ¿no? Pues vamos, dicho por él mismo, que él no jugaba juegos modernos.
King Roland has conceded the throne to Minister Serenoa. Apparently the two are half-brothers.
What? So, this was not a hearing of my crimes.
Mis crímenes no han salido a la luz aún.
Minister Tenebris? No.
Este yo digo, esconde algo que va con capucha. ¿Quién será este que va con capucha escondido?
But the people seem oddly composed about the change of power.
Is this not a joyous occasion? With Minister Serenoa on the throne, Glenbrook becomes a vassal nation of Hyzant.
Not quite. We had intended to use Minister Serenoa to pressure King Roland into giving him control over the Grand Norzelian mines. But now he has both the salt crystal veins and the entire kingdom of Glenbrook in his hands. Our window of opportunity has closed.
Precisely. Any attempt to likewise pressure Minister Serenoa may result in us losing more than we bargained for.
He did not strike me as the sort of man to bite the hand that feeds.
He usurped the throne from his own master. We cannot afford to let our guards down.
Indeed.
Hear the Holy One's words. We must be wary of House Wolfort. We will summon Minister Exham and his forces back to the city to protect our people.
Understood. I will dispatch a bird to him at once.
I will have our spies
Me ha
in
picado un
Glenbrook
bicho en la
receive
pierna, me
Wolford's
cago en la
true
puta, tío.
intentions.
Joder.
We must get our hands on those salt crystals. If House Wolford dares disobey the goddess, they must be exterminated at once.
This is my chance. If I can bring glory to Hyzant and restore my name, soon I will be.
¿Quién será el de la capucha que va con la cara tapada?
I did not foresee Serenoa becoming king of Glenbrook. What became of the abdicated King Roland?
Official reports say he left the capital to live a life of seclusion. But rumor has it that he absconded after losing a duel to Lord Serenoa.
Roland concealed his identity and fought hard to reclaim his kingdom. He would not so easily relinquish the throne. The rumors are likely closer to the truth than the reports.
So House Wolford usurped the throne.
I did not take Serenoa for a man who had cast off the shackles of servitude by force. How fascinating it would be if the caged hawk broke free to soar the skies.
Without Prince Roland around, there is hope yet of restoring our relations with Glenbrook. Perhaps we could ask Lady Frederica to help us negotiate.
Glenbrook holds the salt crystal veins in their hands. No amount of negotiations would end in our favor. A bird that has flown the coop must be shot down. Whether they perish or return to a cage is up to them.
Y esto también lo van a traicionar, obviamente, es que vamos. Aliarse con lo de Frogwell helada también manda cojones, pero yo no he elegido, yo le he dado el botón y que eligiera los personajes. Los personajes son los que han elegido.
King Serenoa invites Archduke Gustadolf to Glenbrook in hopes of securing an alliance with the duchy. Gustadolf accepts the secret invitation and makes his way to Whiteholm Castle. However, the salt crystal deposits uncovered in the Grand Norzellian mines are currently in the hands of Serenoa. A meeting between the two great rulers comes with equally great risk.
Capítulo 18. Es el juego más largo de la historia con menos jugabilidad de la historia.
It is as I said. The Kingdom of Glenbrook will cease all business with the Norzellia Consortium. The related parties should leave Glenbrook immediately, and any assets remaining shall be
Están
seized
echando a
by
la
the kingdom.
compañía, esa es como si fuera la compañía de la India Oriental.
Not only will you cut your ties with Hyzant, but the consortium as well? How do you intend to get your salt now?
You needn't worry about that.
So it's true. Glenbrook has mined salt crystals from deep beneath the earth.
It is no business of the consortiums.
You dare slight us after all we've done for Norzellia? The post-war accord said that someone must ensure the fair distribution of salt, and so we did.
And we appreciate all your efforts. However, King Serenoa has no need for the consortium in Glenbrook.
The nerve of you people. Hyzant will never forgive such insolence.
Save your tears for the long road back home. The consortium
No dejéis aquí ni la sal de vuestras lágrimas, ¿eh?
which is far from fair as I see it.
I see now. House Wolfort wishes to see the Consortium eliminated in its entirety. In that case, I will return to Hyzant as you said and report this outrage.
Was it right to provoke him? Claris may use his underground connections to stop us.
That was my intention. He will now bring disorder to Hyzant's unity. More importantly, the new Norzelia truly has no need for the Consortium and its control over salt's distribution.
The new Norzelia.
The world King Serenoa would rule. I have formulated a plan to bring about that new age. But first, our
Este juego cuánto
negotiations
vendido,
with Gustav
ni
must
idea.
succeed.
Pero mucha gente lo habrá comprado engañado por esos youtubers que han dicho que era excelente y que lo comprara, increíble.
Thank you. The outcome of our negotiations hinges on King Serenoa's decision. I must speak with him, alone. The Archduke will be here shortly.
Thank you. Our future rests on these negotiations, doesn't it?
Have you read The Power of Salt?
De la sal y sus propiedades, ¿eh?
Lord Dragan gave it to us before he died. It contains all he gleaned in his research on salt. I thought it might give us a clue as to how we can convince Archduke Gustadolf to aid us. I understand now just how much potential salt possesses.
Indeed, it is not merely a seasoning for food. We have control over the salt crystal veins. We can use this to our advantage during negotiations.
But this is Gustadolf we're dealing with. Pressure and intimidation will only cause him to bare his fangs. Negotiate poorly, and we will end up swallowed by the duchy in the name of Gustadolf's freedom. What do you think we should do, Benedict?
Before I answer, I would know one thing.
Matar a
Is it your
Gustavo.
desire to monopolize the salt crystals, Your Majesty?
I have no desire to do so. That would make us no different than Hyzant. And seeing as Gustadolf sought to break the Holy State's monopoly, I doubt he would ally with us.
But we will merely be used as pawns, should we give him the salt crystals.
I have no intention of doing that either. Lord Dragan's answers shall guide us. I will use the salt to bring about a free and prosperous Norzelia, greater even than Gustadolf could. If I can prove that to him, I am certain he would join our cause.
Precisely. You prove time and again you are worthy to stand atop the summit of Norzelia. I have a befitting strategy in mind. Lord Serenoa, would you allow me to negotiate with the Archduke?
Very well. We must have him on our side.
And we shall.
El hijo de la gran puta, el viejo este chungo. Ah, qué rápido vienen, ¿eh?
Most intriguing. You once refused to bend the knee to me at this very spot, and now seek an alliance as King of Glenbrook.
I could not have foreseen this moment either back then. Nor that you would have your own cousin slain after discovering the salt crystal veins.
I hope you aren't expecting an apology. Have we not usurped the same throne?
I have not asked you here to discuss the past, but the future. I am certain you understand that taking on Hyzant alone is a fool's errand. We must unite if we are to stand a chance.
And you expect me to believe that one of the Saintly Seven wishes to defeat the Holy State itself?
We must prevent Hyzant from gaining complete control over Salt and consequently Norzelia. I even parted from a dear friend over it.
I see. I have no objections to overthrowing Hyzant.
Then let us begin the negotiations.
Silence. I am here to speak with King Serenoa, not his servant.
I have given Benedict full rights to be here. Consider his words my own.
So the bird did not break free after all. His vassal opened the cage door.
Le han
Very
dejado
well,
salir, dice.
But allow me to make this clear. If you wish for an alliance, you will give me the Salt Crystal Veins. They belong to Esfrost for having discovered them in the first place.
We cannot do that.
Then we have nothing to discuss.
Pray answer me this, Archduke. What do you intend to do with the salt?
People need salt to live. But here in Norzelia, it is owned entirely by Hyzant and the Consortium. Their high taxes make it nearly impossible for some to obtain. Once I defeat Hyzant, I will abolish both that abhorrent Consortium and its taxes, and allow free trade throughout
¿Qué es
the
lo que
land.
vamos a hacer nosotros? Libre comercio,
I would
Will.
ensure that any who desire salt receive their fair share of it.
That would make you the only one with control over salt. It is no different than Hyzant now.
I do not covet riches like they do. Under my rule, the people would have salt. They would finally have freedom. This is the only future before us.
I beg to differ. We intend to make salt available to all. Anyone will be able to obtain as much as they like for a modest price.
You would put control of salt in the hands of the people? To what end?
To change the world with the potential residing within every grain of salt. For example, preserving foods with salt would make life and trade more prosperous than ever before. Using salt in leather and glass crafting could create newer and better goods. Farmers could give it to their livestock, and it could also be used in various medicines. It can even be used in explosives.
How do you know about that?
These
¿Cómo
are
sabes
but a
tú eso?
handful of
Dice, ¿eh?
examples. If we give the people access to salt, there is no telling how many other uses they may find. Norzelia will enter a golden age of prosperity, and her people will thrive like never before.
I did not take you for an idealist. I think we both know that the people lack the intelligence for innovation.
They just haven't been afforded the chance, but with the proper mechanisms in place, they can be taught. I have already started work on a plan to make salt available over the course of several years.
Do not underestimate the people's greed. It won't be long before they turn on their rulers, intoxicated by the power of salt.
The very nation you sought to defeat feared the same, and sought to control them with their goddess's might.
Archduke Gustadolf, I do not fear a free people. I wish to lead them, but will fight if I must. That is why I took this throne. I believe anyone who wishes to rule the new Norzelia should be prepared to do the same.
Tell me this. How did you know salt possesses such potential?
And I would ask you in return, were you unaware of it yourself? It was all written in a book Lord Dragan gave us.
It is the result of his extensive research at the Esfrosti archives.
Dragan. You mean mean to say it was the knowledge of one of my own? Had I made him
¿Que
prime
no lo sabía el
minister,
gilipollas?
our
¿En
position
serio?
would be reversed.
Madre mía.
So this is my punishment for seeing him killed. Very well. Consider me interested in the future House Wolfort sees for this world. As the Archduke of Esfrost, I hereby swear my allegiance to your cause.
You have our thanks, Archduke Gustaf.
It is only a matter of time until Hyzant realizes what we are planning. Let us proceed to the War Council.
Lead the way.
Ya está haciendo la batallita, preparando la batallita, Willy. Tengo que cortar el pelo, güey. Tengo unas greñas.
Glenbrook and Esfrost have entered into an alliance. You and I are enemies no longer.
I am glad to hear it. Thank you for joining our cause.
Together, we will strike down Hyzant, for the Roselle as well. I am sure your mother would have been happy to hear it.
Indeed.
Frederica, do you resent me for attacking House Wolfort?
I have come to an understanding of what you hoped to accomplish. Your duties as Archduke outweigh your personal desires.
Precisely. I have no regrets for what I've done.
Neither do I regret standing against you, or slaying Erica and Thalis. Not because I harbor personal grudges against any of you, but because my eyes must look not to the past, but to the future.
King Serenoa said the same earlier.
It should come as no surprise, Archduke Gustadolf. He and I walk the same path, hand in hand.
You've grown strong, Frederica.
Frederica la fuerte, Willy.
The Kingdom of Glenbrook and the Duchy of Esfrost enter an alliance. Their combined forces led by Serenoa. Together, they set out to strike down the holy state of Hyzant.
Se retiran.
Ceasing their movements, the Desert Nation summons Exham soldiers home from their march on the Grand Nozellian mines to prepare for the arrival of the Allied forces. Though the walls around the holy state have kept it safe for many years, it is now up to Benedict to discern how best to penetrate the goddess's shield.
Hostia, y yo, Willy, más cinemática, tío. No termina esta historia nunca.
Benedict, have you finalized our plan of attack against Hyzant?
I have. We shall shatter the goddess's shield with Esfrost's death knell. We can then storm the capital and take Hyzant. However, there is one problem that remains. Transporting, placing, and firing the weapon will take a considerable amount of time. So we must draw the Hyzantian army's attention away from the cannon until it is ready.
But they might confine themselves to their castle rather than come out and fight us.
We must draw them out. We cannot allow them
Un
the
señuelo,
opportunity
Willy, van a
to
aplicar.
calmly scout
Vamos a ver qué señuelo es.
Buying time against Minister Exham's forces won't be easy. The damage will be great, even if we do succeed. Esfrost cannot hope to triumph alone.
Which is why I have measures in place to ensure our victory.
Hay 3 finales del juego y puede llegar a ello a través de formas diferentes, vamos, tampoco es mucho.
It included details of his and Sorslay's illicit salt trade and their profitable underground arena. I also added that we would report it to the Holy One, and enclosed a copy of the evidence I gathered.
Perfect. Tenebris will fear for his position and desperately look for any way to establish himself worthy of his seat. And what of Claris?
As predicted, he has returned to Hyzant.
Claris was master of the underground arena, and Tenebris his bookmaker. Now the merchant needs someone in his corner, and the saint needs a pawn. With nowhere left to go, the two will join forces and be the ones to throw Hyzant's strategy into disarray. They will do anything to defeat House Wolford.
I see. We should be able to buy time against their improvised army. But there is no guarantee it will work.
One last letter should be all the push that Tenebris needs.
Another letter?
Another
Signed by
letter?
Prince Roland, asking for his aid in destroying House Wolford, who stole his throne. It lays out a plan in which Prince Roland will attack us from behind with his own army, while we fight Tenebris in front.
What?
There is no reason for him to doubt it. I forged his handwriting and sealed it with the royal band.
Hostia, qué hijo de puta es el viejo, Willy. El anillo.
I made an imprint of his ring when I took it to fake his death. I thought it might come in handy someday.
Benedict.
Y si el anillo nuestro también es falso y es mentira, que somos hijos de esto, vamos, no hay prueba.
Even if the odds aren't in his favor.
I understand. But does King Serenoa know?
No, he does not. He would not forgive me for using Prince Roland as such. This was entirely my cunning.
King Serenoa.
I heard everything.
El lóbulo
Your
dice.
plan gives us the greatest chance of victory. I hereby order you to see it through.
Are you certain?
I am certain there's no going back for us. Only forward.
As you command.
Como usted ordene.
His decision made, Serenoa marches toward Hyzant, certain a victorious end will justify even the most underhanded means. A letter, forged with his old friend's name, arrives in the Holy State, and all the pieces begin to move according to Benedict's plan.
El problema es que el príncipe Roland esté de verdad ahí dentro con ellos, ¿eh? Y se entere.
I see. So House Wolford seeks to destroy not only Hyzant, but the consortium as well.
Yes. They would bring ruin to the Order of Norzelia we worked so hard to build. Minister Tenebris, you must have the Holy One strike them down.
But of course, House Wolford must be punished for defying the goddess. Were that I able to chasten them with my own hands.
Ahí es donde empezó la guerra de los videojuegos, con las guerras gaming. Ya cuando se acamaron, pues la gente que le había gustado todo aquello, pues se vino para la guerra de esta de la Play y la Xbox. Vamos, las guerras retro eran menos y eran más carniceros, ¿eh? Y todavía a día de hoy gente diciendo, no, esta consola era mejor que la otra, y se pelean pero a muerte, ¿eh? El otro día me escuché yo un podcast de Super Nintendo versus Mega Drive. Madre mía, los fanboys de la Mega Drive, pero pegando Shigio y todo, ¿eh? Pegando Shigio, Willy.
You wish for me to command your soldiers?
Our odds are more favorable than you think. You see, I received a letter from a certain someone not days
La
ago.
carta del Roland, que es falsa,
Let
¿eh?
us defeat the usurpers of House Wolfort together. Signed by King Roland himself.
King Roland? Truly?
It has the seal of the royal family. I have confirmed it myself to be true.
So King Roland really was overthrown. Were I in his shoes, I would also want revenge against such traitors.
He also wrote that he will spring a surprise attack from behind during the battle.
Oh, with King Roland on our side, House Wolfort won't stand a chance against us. Have you spoke to anyone else of this, Minister Tenebris?
No. You are the only one I wish to share this victory with.
I am happy to hear it. I will do all I can in your service.
Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa ahora, Willy. Yo no lo recomendaría, ¿no?
When you said you would gather the troops, I had not expected cavalry, Minister Tenebris.
It was the least I could do to ensure our victory. I leave them in your charge, Lord Claris. Once you defeat Wolfort, a seat among the Saintly Seven will be left open.
¿Qué vas a hacer tú?
I think none more fitting for that place as the Minister of Salt than you, Lord Claris.
You flatter me, Minister Tenebris. I think your deeds this day may earn you the position of Minister Idor.
Encima ellos mismos se quieren traicionar entre ellos para llegar al poder.
I can erase the sins of my past.
House Wolfort is coming his way. Are you sure you needn't any aid, Minister Tenebris? I know you wish to lead the vanguard, but House Wolfort is not to be underestimated.
Worry not, Minister Exham. I have given Lord Claris a certain path to victory.
Y el pobre va a caer rápido, claro ese, ¿eh? Va a escalichar rápido, Willy.
I leave it to you. Let us watch Lord Claris triumph over House Wolfort together.
I pray for your victory. Even should you lose, the goddess's shield will protect us.
Yo qué rápido pasa el puto fin de semana, Willy. En serio, yo 20.000 fotos en el móvil. El puerta al sótano, ese no se pasa ni los juegos cortos, imagínate este juego.
Archduke Gustadolf and Lord Svarog's armies have left with the cannon. They should be able to sneak around the city's southern side and make the necessary preparations.
And let us make our move too.
Yo creo que el Gustardo nos va a traicionar también. Y no verá que se va a liar.
Do not forget, our objective is to draw the enemy's eyes to us and stall for time.
I know. We'll draw their forces to the western side of the shield, while Esfrost readies the cannon to the south. And after they blast through the wall, we pour in and take the palace. Right?
Exactly. We must be cautious. King Serenoa, please speak with the soldiers before we depart. Hearing their commander's words will no doubt raise their spirits.
Un discurso de Phil Spencer, Willy. Esto es como esto. Ahora saldrá Phil Spencer, pondrá 8 logotipos. ¿Sabéis lo que va a pasar en el evento de Xbox, no? Van a poner 8 logotipos, van a poner un logotipo de, yo qué sé, del Crash Bandicoot, un logotipo del Spyro de Dragon, van a poner un montón de logotipos sin tener nada de nada y decir que estos juegos llegarán pronto a Xbox y a Game Pass. Acordado de lo que digo yo ahora, Willy. Va a salir el Phil Spencer, van a poner un logotipo del Crash Bandicoot, del Spyro, de la IP que tiene esta gente de Activision, van a poner logotipos de eso y esos juegos ni van a ser verdad, y si salen, saldrán dentro de 10 años y multiplataforma, acordado, que eso va a pasar. Vea la bajada de frame, Willy. Madre mía, mira cuando se mueve. Mira los frames, Willy. Mira los frames. Mira los frames del... Hostia, mira los frames del juego, Willy. Batalla.
House Wolfort, you will rue the day you spurned me. Cavalry, prepare to charge.
Peleando que la Mega Drive tenía mejor catálogo de Super Nintendo. Que la Super Nintendo solo tenía RPG y plataforma, y yo, pero vamos a ver. Que en la Super Nintendo estaban todos los beat'em up buenos de recreativa. Que en Mega Drive no había ni nada de beat'em up de recreativas buenos. Nada más que 4 que tenían de ellos propios. Madre mía. Los beat'em up de Capcom, de Konami, o algunos de Neo Geo, de esos que había también por ahí. Hostia, y yo. De juegos de pelea en Super Nintendo estaban todo, casi todo, de beat'em up, de RPG, de plataforma, los juegos de película. Que los juegos de Mega Drive eran más adultos. Esto, ¿cómo que vamos a ver más adultos? Deberían de decir que los juegos de Nintendo creados por Nintendo, ¿no? Podrían llegar a ser menos adultos que los de Mega Drive, que no es así, porque también es lo mismo. Pero vamos, es que absoluto.
This is a battle against everything that keeps Norzelia chained to the past. This battle will carve the way to a new era, one where we all have salt and all are free. And the leader of that new era will be none other than King Serenoa. Now, draw your swords.
El Blast Processing, Willy, de la Mega Drive. Blast Processing.
Soldiers, advance! Strike down the vanguard!
Piripipipi. Piripipipipi. ¿Y esta qué hace en mi equipo que no se ha ido?
Consider it done.
Este no está en el equipo.